Hi, it's Dr. Jones again. Thanks for tuning into another issue or video message in a new issue of the Seekonk Warrior. I just want to mention a couple things this week. We've had a pretty good weekend and a pretty good week this week. The first thing I want to mention is something from my last video message. Just in case you didn't get it, we had a musical, Guys and Dolls, last weekend. I got out to see that this past weekend, and it was fantastic. I hope you did too. You know, if you see any of the students that were involved in that, they sure do deserve a round of applause, along with all the people that supported them along the way. The next thing I want to talk to you about is you often hear me talking about purpose. It's important for everybody in the community to know that we've got something new going on that starts next year. Probably late this school year, but definitely full swing next year. If you've ever heard of NEASC, the accreditation process that we go through every 10 years, it's often large, it's often cumbersome, but at a conference I had the chance to hear about the possibility of a new pilot program, and I discussed it with the director of the NEASC Commission, and we have since been moving forward with being included in a pilot. He informed us yesterday when he was here to talk that we are one of 2 schools in Massachusetts doing this, and this is the way that NEASC is moving. Just a quick rundown: instead of being such a huge process that takes all teachers' times on all staff and pulls teachers out of classes and things like that, and really kind of disturbs the day, NEASC is working together with schools to make it a more meaningful process. So we'll be having this outside group come in and help us craft a school improvement plan after we spend about half a year, starting next year again, like I said, looking where we can improve and everything against the standards that they normally accredit us against. So that's a good thing. That's something new, and that's part of our purpose. It's all about keeping teachers in front of the students and helping those students learn more and getting on with teaching, learning, and understanding instead of paperwork, organizing, and testing. So the next thing I want to talk about is I had a fantastic opportunity that I really enjoyed a lot for multiple reasons. But I went down to the elementary school and actually got to read a couple of books to a kindergarten class. And while I did it because I like reading, I always enjoy reading to my own kids, but it really reminded me something. We're here for the students. And as I ask other teachers that, there's nothing better than being in front of the students, working with the students, and seeing them grow. So I thought that was really fantastic. I want to share it with you that that really kind of brought it home for me. The next thing I want to talk about is another important thing going on here at Seekonk High School, but it goes on all the time, but it's not always noticed. I was in the cafeteria the other day, and not once but twice I saw students from another group of students get up and walk over to a student who was sitting at lunch alone, eating lunch alone. And now, that could have been for any reason. But what occurred was, these students left their group of friends, went over to the student sitting alone, and invited them to come eat lunch with their friends. Now, one looked up, and there was that little moment of, oh, you know, well, kind of, maybe, and then went with the person, and I watched them integrate into the table. Everybody was talking, everybody was having a good time. The other time, the student politely refused, said, no, I want to sit here alone. So the student not only went back to her friends, but picked up her lunch tray and went back and sat with the student so the student wouldn't be eating lunch alone. That's really important. And you know what that shows? That shows a lot about the character of the students here at Seekonk High School. Things like that are fantastic. And the reason for that is because, you know, we always try to make the world a better place, and especially better than how we found it. So it's not just about that, but it's making the world a better place by one interaction at a time. You never know whose life you can change, what somebody's going through, but it doesn't hurt you to actually put that hand out there and offer to help or bring them into part of your group. So it's something really important. We don't all have to be perfect. We don't always have to reach out. We need to try, and sometimes putting it into action after thinking of it is the hardest step. But remember, if you want to and you hesitate, make sure you do it next time. Always take that chance, because it's not about making the perfect decision all the time and about being perfect, but it's about being a better version of yourself each day. Get a little better each day. Pretty soon you'll look back and be amazed at how far you've come. So kudos to those 2 students. I'm going to let them remain anonymous, but just to say, I was really impressed and it was noticed. So remember, during your course of your day when you're walking around, Be purposeful, act with integrity, and always build your character. Thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. And remember, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and any other social media site. I appreciate it. Thanks. Have a great weekend.